Good afternoon, Ziggy here. I thought I would share a little more with everybody on how I use certain tools to do research and make plans on cards and investing. I'm going to go ahead and share my use of the Market Movers tool. And let's see here. So Market Movers, sportscardinvestor.com paid tool. You guys can check out the subscriptions for these. I'm not going to talk about that, but I will tell you, I think it's a great tool. Let me start by saying that. I mean, it's probably the most powerful tool I've seen in the sports hobby world. If you see anything else out there, I'd love to hear about it, but I just haven't seen anything like this. So what I like about this tool, I'm going to give you a couple examples of how I'm using it. First of all, you can just turn it on, right? You come here to price by card, and it's just going to run real quickly the last 7 days, I think it's like 14 days. And it's going to give me who the biggest movers are. So Mark McGwire's card, look at this Mark McGwire's card, just on a rocket ship, dude, as far as change in price. Up $41. 10 number of sales, 10 in the last 7 days. You can chart this out if you want to minimum. And what the average sale is, 51 bucks. Baker Mayfield, Optic Football Base Raw. Brandon Clark, Hollow Raw. And again, and these are just based on volume, I think, right? Number of sales in the last 7 days. Let's look at the last 14 days. And this to me is where you kind of find cards like, do I have this card? You know, I don't have this art card, but that card is on fire, man. Man, that reminds me, the Project 2020, I think there's some money to still be made there. McGwire, you can see that card going up. Sammy Sosa's card, Upper Deck, Baseball, PSA 10. This, like I said, this also helped me decide which cards I want to look for. Tiffany Baseball, 87. I don't have Tiffany, Topps Tiffany. I don't know why. Topps Baseball, PSA 9, McGwire, Sosa. So like everybody's talking about, that's why, I mean, it's easy. That's why this tool's so cool. It's very easy to see what are the hot cards. By player, last 7 days. I think it's going to be the same thing. While that's filling out. So let me give you some examples of some stuff that I did some research on using this tool. So what I did, I love Prism basketball, and I decided to chart out here Kobe, Zion, and Ja, looking at their base Prism, rookies raw base Prism, and just looking at sales of these things. Now, a few things I can get: total number of sold. I can get stats here, right, on each one, percentage of change, the average. Now, look, what I'll be honest, what I'm looking at is I just want to see. I mean, I'm not looking to target Zion. Look how expensive Zion is, man. Average $178 for a Zion base, and $52 for a Ja. It's not bad. But look at this, man. Kobe White, $14.99, and that's actually on the rise. So I go back up here. For the most part, why is that damn arrow there? There we go. Most part, look at these Kobe's. And you look right here, the numbers 12, 14. They're that black number at the top. Purple is Ja, and the yellow is Zion. But even at a high, $25 for a raw. Okay, now why is this important to me? Okay, so I look at this. I see there's a lot of these being sold. I want to collect this guy. Then I come here and look at Kobe White, this base, PSA 10. So the goal clearly is if I can turn these into PSA 10. So if the average buying price is 15 bucks, now look at the average sale price of a PSA 10. $127. So you're basically adding 100 bucks, dude, to this card. 5x the card would be great at PSA 10. That seems like a pretty much a no-brainer right now. Now, I don't remember if the last chart did. I think they did something else. But let's say, oh, but Mike, they're all not going to come in there. You're right. They're all not going to come in PSA 10. So let's look what happens. Let's see what happens when we get PSA 9s as well. Now again, for you guys, I'm on a slow network line. Okay, so PSA 9 average price is $40. $40. Now, why do I mention that? It's because, look, if you're going to buy it for $25 and you invest the money in grading and it comes back a PSA 9, well, then you're pretty much breaking even. So that's not bad. And I actually think those PSA 9s, if you sit on them, could go up in the long term. So what I'm trying to show here is that you're not going to lose money if you get PSA 9s. So if you buy like 10 or 15 of these guys, and your average, let's say you get 50% of them are PSA 10s, or let's say 40% are PSA 10s, you're going to make your money back. Now, here's another quick thing to just check on. I don't know if we can do this or not. Choose grades. No, I think I was going to add, I think I can add BGS to see what that looks like. So that's just one example of how I'm using Market Movers tool. I'm looking at different rookies. I'm looking at what the graded values are. I look what the raw values are, and then I go ahead and buy the raws with the goal of selling them later on graded. If you're going to sit here and talk to me about PSA takes forever to grade, again, I don't really care, because if you look at this strategy, I'm looking to sell Kobe White PSA 10 base rookies, not right now, honestly. I'm looking to sell him next season, right? Late in next season, hopefully. Maybe he makes an all-star run or something like that, or he's on the young guns team or something like that, but that's what I'm looking for. The last, okay, yeah, here's a Market Movers. I will just show you. The reason I bring this one up is that I think it's important to show this. People talk about, the difference between PSA 9s and a BGS 9.5. Here we have a chart that's tracking the Lucas. Now, I saw a great video earlier about buying raw Lucas. Right now, Lucas grading to PSA 10 is like a 70% chance, just on the pop reports. So I'm going after raw Lucas, and I'm looking at, okay, if I get a raw Luka and it doesn't grade, then here's my strategy. Going after Lucas, going to grade them PSA. Get a PSA 10, bam, that's beautiful. If I get a PSA 9, here's what we're looking at, right? That's what the purple is, PSA 9s. Clearly not going for as much as you think. I mean, when you think about raws right now are roughly, I want to say 150. So these PSA 9s are basically about the price of the raw, right? A little bit higher than raw as you get right now. But so my thoughts are, if I get PSA 9s, I'm going to recrack and submit those for BGS or SGC. Now, there's not enough SGC data out there to track SGC. That's why it's not up here. But I'm just giving you a sense of, okay, so if I recrack it and I go with a BGS, okay, average, end average is 4.5. Look at that. That's 2 extra money for a 0.5 grade, guys. A 0.5 grade. So to me, this is clear evidence that you should not be grading based on, oh, I love PSA, or I love BGS, or I love SGC. You should be grading based on money, okay? So I think I've said this to someone else. My strategy based on using Market Movers, from what I've seen, is that I grade all basketball PSA first, okay? There are some exceptions to that. Some things I will send BGS, if it's like an auto or something unique or whatever, I want to grade it quickly, or it's a low number. But for the most part, 95% of all my cards go PSA. PSA 10s, boom, they're happy. I got those. If I get PSA 9s, my goal and plan is to recrack and resubmit those to BGS or SGC. And in later video, I'll talk a little bit more about why I would do one over the other. I hope that's helpful, guys. Hope you can see how I'm using the Market Movers tool. And hope to hear back from you, your comments, thoughts. What are you guys doing? What tricks and tips can you have and you share with me? Oh, and the Kobe White one, this is not a secret. I think everybody knows about Kobe, but there are some other rookies and other players. I use the same model for kind of looking at them, prospecting them, and comparing what their raw versus graded prices are.